3, 2, and 1. Greetings. My name is Karina Halasco. I am the editor of the Anthology Covid Rebels 2021. And I am here with Betty Pierre, one of our very, very talented poets. And it's going to be a very interesting time for you to hear what Betty has to say. She's going to be talking about her ethnic background and bringing some of the language of Creole from Haiti so that we can learn a couple of things. Betty, would you like to tell us about the language?
Yes, Creole is a wonderful language that has been, is African, Spanish, Portuguese, and French, based on the colonizers of the Saint-Domingue. And it started evolving into a written language over the 17th and 18th century, and the 20th century. In 1987, it became by decree, it became an official language that was recognized as a language that was spoken by the majority of the people, the masses, and it was a language of education for educating the large population of people who spoke Creole.
Right, and they needed to develop an alphabet. You were born in Haiti, correct? And you came when you were about 7 or 8 years old?
Yes, I was born in Haiti. So I was raised in primarily in Harlem in New York. I came when I was 6 years old. I won't tell you how old I am.
Well, the thing that I liked about the language of Creole is that in terms of languages, every successful country has been defined by whether they can make the transition between verbal language and written language. That can take hundreds of years. And who witnesses that? Who gets the privilege to witness that? Well, we have that privilege with the language of Creole, because for the first time in a long time, Creole is being evolved, and a lexicon is being created, and an alphabet is created, and words and punctuation. And like Betty said, it was 1987, it was put in the Constitution as a language in the country of Haiti. And so it's constantly evolving, and I think that's really cool. So I convinced Betty to come on, and she's going to read a poem in Creole.
Yeah.
Can you call it like Haitian, the language, or you have to is it Creole, or is that even defined yet?
We call it Creole.
Creole, okay. She's going to read a poem first in Creole and then in English. Betty, take it away.
And the name of this poem is Haiti Chérie, and I wrote it in 1992. There was a lot of things happening in Haiti, a lot of turmoil with the evolution and the embargo. There was United States decisions regarding who was in power at the time. This is called Haiti Chérie, and the name of the poem, it means Sweet Haiti. Yon fwa nou te premye nan ras nou. An revolusyon nou te preski. Tout samedi, Napoléon lage nou. Apre sa te vin Papa Doc ak Baby Doc. Jusqu'à ce que Poète la et la valasse. Sous te pays étranger, deux présidents ak 6 justices réunis, ensemble et décrétés. Yo tout d'accord. Tourne yo sous la mer. Nan yon président Guantanamo, 200 enfermés pour 2 ans. 2 ans embargo, peuple ap mouri kangou. Oh Haïti chérie. Journaliste rapport sous terre, on pas bien loin. Mais de Gonaïve ak Port-au-Prince, pa gen nouvel. Yon fwa nou te gen Miss America. Yo di se pa politik, men pays mwen. Yo entouré, baton approche empêcher flotte la. Men, eske peuple la gen manger? And that was the
Thank you.
the Creole version.
Thank you very much. Beautiful. You see, it's a very lyrical language. I was surprised at how lyrical it was. I thought it would be more guttural, like some of the Germanic languages tend to be guttural. Even some of the African languages tend to be more of a guttural sounding language. But I guess it's the French that brought in that lyrical thing. And then the Spanish, of course, is a very lyrical, the Latin languages. So it really is very beautiful. And it's beautiful on the paper. When you go to the anthology, be sure to check out Betty's section, and then you'll be able to see the Creole in writing as it's still developing.
Yes.
Now we get to hear the English version.
And the English is not going to be an exact translation, of course, because it's a translation. Haiti chérie, once we were the first in our race. Revolution we prescribed. Toussaint to Napoleon, release. Then came Papa Doc and Baby Doc, until the priest and Lavalas. On foreign soil, 2 presidents and 6 justices meet to decree. Turn them back at the shore, they all agree. In a Guantanamo penitentiary, 200 held for 2 years, and 2 years the embargo starves my people, les enfants. Journalists report from a far-off port of La Gonave and Port-au-Prince, no news. Once we had our American queen. They say it isn't politics, but my country they surround. Sticks and stones bar the fleet, but what have my people to eat?
Wow. Wow. That is powerful and beautiful.
Yes.
And do you have any advice for people, other writers moving forward who maybe have cultural, ethnic backgrounds that they have not explored yet?
I think it's a beautiful time that we're in because poetry is and writing and creativity is getting a renaissance. And the use of other languages is embraced as opposed to before where the publishing was more in English and it wasn't embraced and with the immigrant issues coming up about immigrant bans and immigration issues that we faced before, I think now the culture is saying, well, we want to see different languages. We want to embrace other cultures. We want to learn about different people, different languages. We want to practice that. And I think it's important for me as a Haitian American to be able to share that with people and say, yes, I'm Haitian American. Yes, we have our language and we embrace not only our own, but others. And we want to know the history of it. And we want to see it grow and evolve.
Yes, we certainly, that was very beautifully said, Betty. Thank you. Don't forget Betty's tisane recipe. You've got a tisane recipe in the book, right?
Yes.
This is complicated, folks. It's not just putting tea in a cup and boiling some water. This might take a couple days. And that is a Haitian recipe, correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
It's my own recipe. Tisanes have historically been used for herbal healing throughout the centuries in different roots or leaves or dried leaves to make what someone would say potion. But that was the negative sense of it. It was really for healing. And they call it bush tea in Jamaica. So it's something that there's so many similarities in the cultures. And I think that, as I said, embracing that, and also the tisane is what I grew up when we were sick or something was bothering us, whether it was a stomach ache or a headache or a cold. The tisane would be something that we would have. Sometimes it would be for, mostly for medicinal. So this one I created just over a period of years, putting different ingredients together.
So it's okay. So this is a culmination of a lot of treatment.
Right, exactly.
So Betty's magical tisane.
So People ask me for it now.
I bet we'll be bottling it soon.
Yes.
Well, I want to thank you very much for spending some time with me today, as I feel very privileged, honored, and I was just so happy to be exposed to such a beautiful language. And we'll be looking for more Creole poems from you.
Thank you. Thank you, Kay. I appreciate it.
Have a great day.
You too. Bye.